Lesson 8.3, Example 4. We're going to find the partial fraction decomposition for the fraction negative x squared plus 3x plus 8 divided by x to the third plus 4x squared plus 4x. Now, we have already broken this down into three fractions. We said we were going to have a divided by x, and then we were going to have b divided by x plus 2, and then we were going to have c divided by x plus 2 squared. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to get a common denominator over here on the right hand side. So that's going to give me a times x plus 2 squared plus b times x plus 2 plus c times x. And all this is going to be divided by the common denominator, x times x plus 2 squared. And this will be equal to the fraction negative x squared plus 3x plus 8 divided by x to the third plus 4x squared plus 4x. Now, we've already factored this. We know it factors into this over here. So since we have the same denominators, our equation becomes negative x squared plus 3x plus 8 is equal to a times x plus 2 squared plus bx times x plus 2 plus cx. All right, now I am going to expand the x plus 2 squared right here, because remember this is really x plus 2 times x plus 2, so it's not going to give me x squared plus 4. And then I'm going to distribute both the b and the x into the parentheses here. And I'm going to distribute them at the same time. So we've got negative x squared plus 3x plus 8. And this is going to be equal to a. And then x times x is x squared. X times 2 is plus 2x. 2 times x is plus 2x. And then 2 times 2 is going to give me plus 4. All right, over here, b times x, this is b times x to the second. And b times x times 2 is going to give me 2 times b times x. And then, of course, this is just going to be plus the cx back here. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to add the 2 plus 2 here. This is going to give me 4x, and I'm also going to distribute the a into the parentheses. So we have negative x squared plus 3x plus 8, and this will be equal to a x squared plus 4a times x plus 4a plus bx squared plus 2bx plus cx. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to rearrange this so that all of my x squared terms are together, so that my x terms are together, and so that my constant terms are together. This will give me negative x squared plus 3x plus 8 is equal to ax squared plus bx squared plus 4ax plus 2bx plus cx plus 4a. All right, now The only way that these two can be equal to each other would be if these two terms combined were equal to that coefficient there, -1, and these three terms here combined were equal to this term right here, and then this term back here were equal to this one over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a system of three equations with three variables using my x squareds, then using my x's, and then using my constants. And that's going to give me negative x squared equal to ax squared plus bx squared. And then my second equation is going to be 3x is equal to 4ax plus 2bx plus cx. And my last equation is going to be 8 is equal to 4a. Okay. Now I'm going to rewrite these with just the coefficients in them there. So I'm going to take off the x squareds and I'm going to take off the x's. We have -1 equal to a plus b, and 3 equal to 4a plus 2b plus c, and then 8 equal to 4a. And now I'm going to solve the system. I think the first thing I want to do is figure out a, because my last equation only has one variable in it. So let's divide both sides by 4. We'll find out that a is equal to 2. Now I'm going to take that 2 and I'm going to plug it into my top equation here because it has a's and b's in it. So now I'm going to try and figure out what b is. So we have -1 equal to 2 plus b. And if I subtract 2 from both sides, I'm going to find out that b is actually -3. And now I can take my a and b and plug it into my middle equation right here and figure out what c is. So let's see. 3 is equal to 2 plus 2 times -3 plus c. So 3 is equal to 2 minus 6 plus c. So 3 will be equal to -4 plus c. And when I add that 4 to the other side over here, it looks like c is going to be equal to 7. Okay, hang on, I blew it right here. When I'm plugging in, this 2 is actually supposed to be 4 times a. This is not just plain old a, so I need to get rid of all of this and redo this. All right, let's try this again. Okay, so we're going to have 3 equal to 4 times 2 plus 2 times -3 plus c. So we got 3 equal to 8 minus 6 plus c. So 3 is going to be equal to 2 plus c. And when we subtract 2 from both sides, it looks like c is going to be equal to 1, which means back in my original problem here, these three fractions can be rewritten as 2 over x plus -3 over x plus 2, or you could do minus a positive 3, plus 1 over x plus 2 squared. And so these three fractions are the three that you would have to combine in order to get this fraction right here.